Some warnings are meant to save your life. This one is already too late for all of us. Run before the forest counts you in. My name's Ryan. I run a YouTube channel called Cryptic Trails USA. It's the kind of channel where curiosity meets the unexplained. A blend of urban legends, mystery interviews, and eerie fieldwork trips. When my girlfriend Emily and a few close friends, Sarah, Mike, and Taylor, joined me on what seemed like an epic content hunt at Ape Canyon, we thought it'd be the trip of our lives. Instead, it became my channel's darkest story and left me the only one to tell it. It was August 18th. Our cameras were charged, our spirits high. Ape Canyon, known for its century-old legend of miners battling a creature too monstrous to be human, felt like the perfect clickbait goldmine. We dismissed the tale of a covenant, the warnings about creatures protecting their sacred land. After all, legends don't grow claws, do they? The first sign came before we even reached Fred Beck's infamous ridge. Quiet. Too quiet. No birds, no insects. Just an oppressive, unnatural silence that stretched through the trees. Feels like the forest's judging me, Sarah muttered nervously, half joking. Mike laughed, but his voice carried tension. Just the wind messing with your head, he said, though everyone knew by then. There was no wind. I felt it though. The air was tight, alive, like we were trespassing on something far older than us. The stillness hummed in my chest. When we reached the ridge where the miners supposedly made their stand against whatever lived here, the atmosphere felt suffocating. Scattered remnants marked their story. Charred beams, rusted nails, a fire pit long buried by moss. "This is it," whispered Taylor. He swept a thermal camera across the site but came up with nothing, just the faint heat of our bodies. We decided to camp here. Emily grabbed my arm and said quietly, "Ryan, it's heavy. The air, it presses." But I lied to her, murmuring, "It's just the canyon, nothing else." By nightfall, we traded ghost stories over freeze-dried pasta and whiskey. The forest pressed in, still no wind, still no sound. At 9:30 p.m., it began. The first knock, faint, distant, 3 deliberate hits. "Woodpecker," Mike spluttered, but his voice was too quick, too high. Sarah frowned. "That's not a woodpecker," she said flatly. "It's rhythmic." We waited, straining to hear more. 10 minutes later, the knocks came again, closer this time. My ears pricked, catching something under the static of silence. A breath, slow, wet, deliberate. My pulse spiked with a fear I didn't want to name. At 11:04, Emily screamed. I bolted to her tent. She sat there shaking violently. They were here, inside, silver eyes everywhere. Nobody questioned her, but none of us slept after that. Morning offered little relief. While packing up, Sarah froze mid-scream. At the foot of her tent lay a rock, smooth, scratched with jagged claw marks. As sunlight hissed the surface, I realized it was anything but random. When we tried to find our way back, the forest spat us into chaos. Markers vanished, trails disintegrated. Every turn led nowhere, or worse, became somewhere all too familiar. Back to the ridge. "We're being circled," Taylor muttered, scanning his footage. His lens had captured something, a heat signature. Too massive, too tall to be human, too close. The ridge looked wrong. The fire pit was gone, replaced by moss that grew overnight. Worse were the tracks. 5 enormous prints, toes splayed outward like some half-human, half-beast hybrid. "Guys," Sarah whispered shakily, pointing at the nearest tree. Dozens of hand-dragged spirals etched the bark, oozing resin like tears. It wasn't us carving those, and we weren't alone. By nightfall, something reached its boiling point. 1 second, Taylor was with us, camera raised. The next, just his equipment remained, perfectly upright. Beside it lay another stone. This one was bloodied, parallel claw marks on its surface. Embedded among them, tiny human-like teeth. Before I could react, Emily's voice, distant and calm, startled me. "He's underneath us." Her words chilled me, but she smiled like nothing was wrong. Then I saw it in her eyes, that haunting silver sheen. We pressed on, unable to do anything else. The forest grew darker, paths narrowing into a suffocating tunnel. Spirals deepened along every tree. Human-shaped carvings dragged down into blackened, resin-walled grooves. The air was electric with dread. We found it, Fred Beck's final site. A stone door carved into the rock, ancient and seamless. Without hesitation, Emily approached it, her hand filling the spiral indentation carved at its center. The door sighed open, revealing only blackness deeper than the forest itself. She turned to us one last time and whispered, "The mouth waits." Then she stepped inside and vanished. We didn't follow. Couldn't. They were waiting. 4 looming figures emerged from shadow, taller than us. Ash-dark skin matted under hide, their silver eyes gleaming like knives. One pressed its broad clawed hand to my chest, and my entire body froze. My thoughts shattered like glass. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. I saw it then. Visions of their roots, pulsating deep under the earth. The mouth, row after row of grinding stone teeth, groaning in its endless, hungry sleep, and it was waking. When I woke, it was weeks later, alone. Everyone else, Emily, Sarah, Mike, Taylor, gone. My arm bled and burned with claw marks I didn't remember receiving. Fred Beck's ancient notebook rested in my lap, streaked in dried blood. Its final scrawl read, "The mouth takes in threes." Now I understand his fear and his warning. If you ever see a rock marked with claws, smooth and small, run. Run fast, run far. The mouth is counting. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you're as haunted by this tale as I am, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on Dark Demon Tales for more stories that may keep you up at night. Stay sharp, stay safe, and remember, not every story wants to be told. See you in the next one.